welcome. New around here. Hi, I'm Miss Purple Lightning. You have just entered the storm. Not new around here then. Oh, welcome back. Hope everyone is doing good on this Tuesday evening in Bootably. Today, I know I said we're gonna play some Love and Deep Space, but I gotta get some more stuff situated on my phone before I can do that. So we'll aim for that tomorrow. Today we will just continue our Touchstarved, and we'll see how far into that we'll go. But yeah, I have underestimated the powers of Infold and the fact that every 2 seconds you do something in that game, you gotta download more, and I don't have space for more to be downloaded. So once I figure out what I am willing to let go of and not let go of, then we'll play some Love and Deep Space. Indeed. But yeah, how's your guys' day been? I know it's still late. You know, some of you are going to bed. And I hope you have a good night's rest. And if you aren't immediately going to bed, I hope your day has treated you well. The night is still young. Young somewhere, indeed. Here. Hi, Gigi. Hi, Serenity. Hi, Lilith. Hi, Javi. Hi, Verby. Welcome. Mm, let's see. Gotta get in. Get in quick. Get out quicker. Hey, where's my audio? All right. Hold on. I don't have audio. Something is afoot. Is it me? Am I the problem? Hmm. Okay. Well, we'll see. We can make it. We can get something done. All right. Thinking about where we left off yesterday. Um, we have to follow one person. Uh, I haven't thought deep on who we're gonna follow, so I thought it'd be a little interesting if you guys had any ideas. I'll put a poll up, and I'll let you guys decide who we're gonna follow. Cause me, you know, I could go honestly with anybody. Let's see. All right. I'll let that be like a 2-minute poll. and we'll see who wins. But we have to decide between Ace, Chris, Min, Veer, and Leander. After you follow them, different options will lead to different outcomes. Okay. Oh, I didn't see the first bit. Okay. Ace is a redhead monster guy. He has horns. Curtis is a doctor. Um, he is very like well put together. I don't know much about men, but they have white hair. They wear like a hood. They're kind of mysterious. They're a hunter. Hi, Miss Toki. Welcome. Doing pretty good. How about yourself? Veer is also a monster, but has like ears similar to Inuyasha and a fluffy tail. Okay, Min's like an assassin. Okay. And Leander has a very big chest and does magic. Those are the talking points about them. Chorus is also very tall. Ears and tail. Sorry, I'm sold. Oh, also, Ace has a deep voice. Apparently, Leander does as well. Hi, Sam. Welcome on in, Raiders W Raid. Is Liddy. What up, Stay Drawn? How is your stream, Slim? Also, hi, if you weren't here, welcome. Welcome, I'm Miss Purple Lightning, a variety streamer here on Twitch. We're currently trying to decide who we're gonna follow as our potential love interest in this game called Touchstarved. Made you work tonight? What did you do? I'm crying a three-way tie. Well, I guess that leaves it all sweaty or nor. IRL work or like had a tie on your onion band in a game and sweat hard. You'll break it. All right, so it is between Kuris, Veer, and Leander. I can actually bring up. I'll go to the store page and I'll let you just see the pictures of the people. Okay. Let's see. We'll put this up. So this is Leander. This is Leander. Who was it between? Sakura's. Okay, so that was Leander. This was Ace. This is Veer. Right here. The ears and the tail. This is that person, Verby. And then this is Chorus. It's a party indeed. So just kind of have that as an idea. You like Veer Serenity? So you two on Veer. Revote? Okay, I'll do a revote. So you want to revote with everybody again or just with the three that were tied? Hi, Lorian. Welcome in. Okay, I'll do a full revote. Okay. Of course. Ouch. All right. I'll put all of the same people. I'll give you extra minutes to vote. You have 3 minutes, and I'll go through who's who really really quickly again. Cryptid sliding. You just slid by. All right. So this is Leander. This is Ace. This is Veer. And then this is Chris. I don't think they have just like a shot. You can just watch this, I guess. This is, I'll give you an idea. Just see people in motion. Oh yeah, men didn't show up on there. That's men right here. That was with the white hair. That's a good one. Okay, this is everybody. Ace, Chris, Leander, Veer, men. I just took a peek at where we are right now. That's gonna be very interesting. If this gives you anything, Verby, Veer from our first encounter reminds me of like a playful Harlop. If you think of how Harlop is, like a very playful Harlop. A second helping, I'm crying. Still a close one. Ace is definitely a close second. I feel like Ace, part of me, I like Ace's appearance. Honestly, I like all their appearances. But just pick one, we're doing them all. Okay. Huh? Huh? Oh. I'm crying. Flip a coin. I'm crying. I get the feeling Veer's tails. Okay. We'll. All right. I won't make us suffer any longer. We'll just we'll follow Veer, I guess. Of all people I've met, only one left me with more questions than answers. Veer knows more than he's letting on. I'm certain of it. And if he's feeling as playful as he was earlier, I might be able to get information out of him. You voted Leander, by the way. Apparently, we'll get a chance to Okay, I need that to be. You know what? I'll go ahead and just save so that I don't do that. 'Cause I'll end up repeatedly doing that and be like, I made a mistake. Can I backtrack? Oh, my bad. Okay, when I find Veer, he's leaning against the counter with his. Oh, did I? Did I just roll it back on accident? Leander was your first choice as well. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I don't I don't really like anybody yet. We literally just met them all yesterday. Like it was just a meeting and a little salt crumb sprinkle of their personality. Um I feel like personally if like that was my I have to follow one person, I will not get a chance to see anybody else. Um Out of everyone, I'd probably go after the doctor first. I'd probably follow him just because he was the most. Everybody else had me kind of like cringing inside of myself, not from what they were doing, from how I would react in that situation. So, that's one of these follow scenes. Okay, okay. 'Cause I'm like, Leander, I would probably also follow, but Leander would make me like sweat profusely, and I'm like, I'd Chris is like the only one that I think I'd be like really calm and like relaxed around. Everybody else would have me on edge from one like in one way or another, and so yeah, it's the safest option. All right. Not for the first time I catch myself staring and judging by the um, looks I see thrown his way. I'm not the only one. Yet there's a clear ring around Veer. No one else seems bold enough to cross. Is that not the point to sweat? Well, you see, birds of a feather together. Hello. Why you blindly trust charisma? I think at, out of everything, like he was probably like the most not threatening in any kind of way. Leander is the scariest. And that's kind of why danger. That's kind of why I think it'll be fun to go with Leander. So that's me. Like he seems like he's dangerous, but like in a fun way. So I would probably follow him just for that. You know. All right, one ear perks at the sound of my approach, but Veer doesn't so much as look my way, even when I slide into the seat beside him. I didn't get any of Leander's scary scenes because I didn't refuse him either. Oh, earlier. You know? Rolls it back. I didn't think you'd plan on sticking around. Yeah, his line, I can keep you safe as long as you trust me, is red flaggish. Come on, you guys already know. You know how many red flags I don't see? Granted, there are some red flags that are blaring, and I'm like, ew, get away from me. Caleb is one of those, okay? In Love and Deep Space, when we get there, you know. But we'll see. We'll see. We didn't come here to be safe. I'm crying. I came looking for um a free drink's a free drink, even if it tastes like rat piss. Didn't you say you wouldn't be caught dead slumming in the shithole? Veer takes a delicate sip of his glass, but his tail thrashes below the bar. You've caught me red-handed. Literally. He peers at me over the rim of his glass. In the low light, his eyes glitter jewel bright with amusement. However, will you punish me? I figured my company is punishment enough for you. Veer's lip twitch and he smiles despite himself. So you survived the night. Are you here for praise, or will a head pat do? I'm crying. Murphy said, "Today's the day." I feel a muscle in my jaw flex with a cruel twist to his smile. His arrogance has made a full recovery, meaning only one thing. Veer has sobered up. So much for my plan. About that. Turns out you were right. I did run into trouble. Now, I can't decide if you're an oracle, an actual threat, or just completely full of shit. Vera scoffs. Most women would buy me a drink before insulting me. After the way you jerked me around, I don't know what I thought that sentence was gonna say. After the way you jerked me around, if anyone's owed a drink, it's me. Veer falls so uncharacteristically quiet that for a moment I fear that I've actually crossed the line. He props his chin on his wrist. I don't think you understand how things work here. Information is a luxury, one you flung carelessly aside. I'm not following. If you value my words, you'd have taken them seriously. I gave you free advice, warned you of the danger you were in, and still you went prancing off to Sea Spring. Small wonder the soulless didn't tear you to ribbons. My first impulse is to argue, but what he said doesn't sit well with me. How does he know what happened? How did you know that I left? I have a very sensitive nose, remember? Right. How could I forget? Do you normally greet people by shoving your nose huh? By shoving it shoving your nose into their laps like an overeager Labrador? For a heartbeat, Veer's eyes grow wide and flat. Then he laughs under his breath. Verbium curiae. Only the ones I like. Veer trades his empty wine glass for a long abandoned tumbler, um, sweating beside him. Soft lumps of ice bob in the watery dregs of whiskey. It's really funny because you literally meet him and he just shoves his face in the crook of your neck. I'm really excited to see how it's gonna look in the final version of the game because they didn't animate that or they didn't have that visualized. They just kind of described it. So I'm like, I wonder if some of those scenes that are described but we don't see will be added with the extra or the new animator they have for the stuff. I wonder. So, but the truth is, I despise most people. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that then. His eyes flicker over my shoulder, and then as Leander's boisterous laughter erupts from the other side of the bar. What about me? Or is it what about me? Now that we've started off on the right foot. Hmm. Explicit. Hey, you don't say. Interesting. He turns, angling so he can look me over. His gaze is agonizingly slow as it glides over me. Finally, his lips quirk. I haven't made up my mind about you yet. It's a start, or so I think, until his eyes slide away and he turns back towards the bar. It's not Veer's attitude that bothers me. No, I expected that of him. It's the fact that I've got no idea how I'm supposed to hold a conversation, much less get answers, when he's being so testy, and his foul mood is infectious. Did I do something to piss you off? He lets out a short breath. No. Another lie. Close enough to catch the subtle bristling of his tail. I'm just disappointed. People like us can't help but attract danger. Yet you seek it out for what? Cheap thrills? I wasn't trying to get eaten by soulless. There's something I'm looking for. And you think men can help you? Leander? Are you really willing to risk your life with those deep dipships? I'm crying. What life? You've got no idea what I've gone through, or forget it. I start to rise, but Veer touches my shoulder, a little more than brush, but enough to give me pause. His eyes search mine, softer somehow than before. They couldn't even begin to understand you, but I could. I could help you if only you listen. Only if you listen. How do I know I can trust you? You don't. But I'm slightly less inclined to waste your time with empty flattery or insults than those two. You know, is what you desire really worth risking your life for? If you knew the kind of life I've had, you wouldn't be asking. Only slightly. Veer considers the condensation sweating from his glass for a long moment before speaking again. Will you trust me? For now. Good enough for me. Veer raised the tumbler to me, then snaps back to Driggs. Snaps back to Driggs. Once he finished, he wipes his mouth on the back of his hand. Let's talk. Outside. If I have to smell Leander's funky aftershave for much longer, I'll hurl. I'm crying. And with that, he slips away from the bar, leaving me to follow the path for his long, trailing tail through the crowd. It's so cold outside, the breeze cuts clean through my bandages, freezing my fingers. But if the chill bothers Veer, he doesn't show it. He lopes purposefully down the street into an alley. This far from the wick, the bar's racket is a little more than indistinct hum. This street's dead as the Amaryllis district was crowded. I wonder fleetingly how many unfortunate lives have been ended in the dingy alleyway. You had questions? Ask. Veer's breath missed in the dark. In the cold mid-moonlight, his shadow stretches unnaturally long over the cobblestone street. Quickly, I've got a show to attend. Heavenly lustrous, and as I'm sure I've mentioned. He looks down his nose at me, effortlessly imperious, with one hand set on his hip. And for a breath, I'm reminded the stark want that gleamed in his eyes when he touched me. If he weren't so pretty, I'd walk away. But I need answers, and I can't think of a better way than starting with the people I've met earlier. If Veer doesn't prove trustworthy, maybe one of them will. First, I'll ask about Chorus. We'll do that first. I wanted to ask you about I regret speaking as soon as I start. Veer's mentioned Chorus before, though not by name. His reaction last time was nasty, but I forgot about that. But I can't back down now, not with Veer eyeing me suspiciously. Yeah, I did too. Like I immediately forgot about the doctor, Chorus. I tense, ready for blowback. What? Back blow? What's that? But Veer only flicks his hand dismissively. Bit of a bore if you ask me, but he's popular enough. You know, on account of his massive heart. Hello, what do you mean by that? He winks as though the stress he placed on heart wasn't already as suggestive. Huh? Huh? What do you mean by that, Veer? How do you know? You can share with the class. We can PowerPoint presentation or something. There's always a line wrapped around the block for his services. People can't seem to get enough of his special medicine. Oh no, high moods. Hope your day's been all right. Probably because he doesn't charge anything. Veer's tail gives an impatient twitch. Or they're eager for a little mouth to mouth with their pelvic examinations. If you get what I mean. Hello? When I grimace, Veer grins wolfishly at me. There's clearly no point in asking him anything about Chorus. I'll ask about Ace, because y'all were all in cahoots with each other when I walked in. I'd like to know more about Ace. You two seem close. He made an impression. Oh, he made an impression. Not surprising. He's strong, ruthless, easy on the eyes. Gives it almost as well. Oh, what? Gives it almost as well as he takes it, even if he's awfully greedy? Hello? Hello? Can't just say that out plain. What do you mean? Hi, Sargon. Welcome in. Hope your day's been well. Big everywhere, really? I'm crying. Bit simple, but but you know what they say about still waters. I don't. Why am I actually the main character? Hello. I don't, but I'm too distracted by the change that's come over Veer to ask. A coy smile plays at his lips as he winds a finger around the chain dangling from his collar. I thought you didn't like most people. Ace isn't most people. He's better. Our eyes meet and Veer's tender expression curls. He makes a tiny sound of distaste in the back of his throat. He's more trouble than he's worth. Dangerous too. Stay far away from him and those red-eyed freaks if you value your safety and your sanity. You have red eyes. Are you a freak? Is that what you're saying? You pushing through it. You got it. We believe in you. I need to get like you. I gotta start working out. I'm crying. I hope he's a freak. Is that why you scolded me for going to the Sea Spring? I really don't think Ace is as bad as you're saying. You don't know him, not like I do. Corner of his lip twitches. Fingers. Ignore. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can, Verby. I'll put it in 4K. Take a picture, hang it on the wall so it lasts forever. Let's learn a little bit more about men because we didn't spend a lot of time with them. I've got to admit, I was surprised to see that you and men know each other. Are you friends? Oh yes, we laugh and go shopping and have sleepovers where we braid each other's hair and kiss with a little tongue. Yeah, Verby, you know, I gotta do something. All right, I'm beginning to wonder if Veer's ever had friends. Let me guess, you don't like them? Can't stand them. First time we met, they stabbed me. Slid cold, hard steel between my ribs, nearly nicked my heart. It was exquisite. The knife, I mean. Some sort of antique. Men's done nothing but disappoint me ever since. So you're not close. Can you imagine me being friends with that crabby little killjoy? Impossible. Not unless they learn to lighten up. And I'm afraid not even a surgeon as practiced as Curtis could remove the stick wedge firmly up men's perked ass. Oh gosh. Welcome back. Oh, you can leave like you have a doctor's appointment in the morning. Go get some sleep. So you can do that and not be late. I can ask before I ask my next question, Veer gives a frustrated growl. Don't you dare ask me about another soul. I haven't gotten all night for idle gossip, but I wasn't finished asking. You get 2 more questions. Make them count. So much for being helpful. I suppose that's just how information works in this exhausting city. 8:30? Ah, okay. 8:30. I'm struggling to get up at 7. No more time for idle chatter. I'll get straight to the point. Leander told me that the Cenobium imprisoned people. Did he mean you? Leander's a moaning fool with a throbbing victim complex. I didn't know where that sentence was gonna go. What are these what are these things you're throwing in here? I'm never prepared. Marty expecting the next thing to come out of Veer's mouth at any given moment is something remotely diabolical. I just know it, Your Honor. Everything he says is on purpose. I see that. He loves to see himself as a savior, but the only difference between his cronies and the Cenobium stooges are the uniforms. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what surprised me more, the bluntness with which Veer spoke or the venom lacing his ordinarily silken voice. You're asking who when you should be asking why. Says the asshole counting my questions. The look he throws me is infuriatingly self-satisfied. Fine. Why were you in prison? For the same reason they'll disappear. You given half the chance. I'm something special. Veer bows his head, gathering his hair in his hands and lifting it from the shoulders to bear the plain leather collar adorning his neck. See this collar? He cranes his neck, inviting me to lean closer. Looks unremarkable, doesn't it? Maybe to the untrained eye, but there is an enchantment that just barely visible, like letters embossed on old parchment. Intricate spell work has been inscribed on the collar. If I touch it, I might be able to figure out what kind of magic it holds. I'll poke it. I reach forward to touch the buckle, but Veer's hand lashes out. Long, slender fingers wrap around my wrist, exerting just enough pressure to hint at how easily he could snap my bones. Don't you know better than to touch without asking? He tuts like a scolding teacher, but an impish smile grazes his lips. Oh, are we gonna be sassy? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. I'll throw that sass right at him. You didn't ask me first. Why should I? Hmm. Hmm. Our eyes meet and he grins. Because I said so? That's not very fair. Fuck fairness, life's not fair. Ooh. His voice lowers in a pleased rumble, or to a pleased rumble. Patience, Elvora. I'll tell you when and how you can. Hello? Your Honor? What's happening? I want to go back into the bar. Can I go to sleep? Behave or I'll make you bleed? And what exactly about Leander is so threatening? He said I can protect you. You just gotta trust me. Veer literally said, "Behave or I'll make you bleed." What do you mean? I'm crying, baby. Hi, Glaze. Welcome. We'll see. We'll see. Hi, hello, welcome. Hope your day's been well. He says it with a smile so sweet it hurts. Is that a threat or a promise? Veer doesn't answer me, but he lets go of my arm. I smooth down my bandages more to get a grip than anything else. I can't lose my composure again. By now, I'd fully expect Veer to begin walking away, but the fact that he's still here suggests that he's either forgot about his warning or he never counted my questions to begin with. Are you saying that's what'll happen if the Snobium finds out I'm different? I'll be collared? Doubtful. They keep me around because I'm the best at what I do. And what exactly do you do so well? Killing. He says it carelessly without hesitation. As long as I wear this collar, I'm made to hunt the Cenobium's dizzying array of enemies. Monsters, soulless, noisy dissonants who grow overbold. I haven't yet. I have two names that keep popping up in my head, but I don't know if I can act on them yet. I want to get a little deeper. I want to dig a little deeper to see what we can get into. Um, I'll name one of them. I'm thinking about Chorus. I'm not gonna say who the other person is though. I gotta wait. I'm bound by their will until the day I die. That's awful. Vera mummers something in agree. Oh, mummers in agreement. It is, isn't it? And that's all you'll be getting from me. I really must leave now. I'll be late. That's it. Why did you bring me here if you weren't gonna explain anything? It's okay. I know it's Leander. It's crazy. That's crazy because you don't know. You don't know. Whatever you guys are all thinking, whoever you all thinking it is, it's not. Whoever you all are thinking it's not, it's still not. So you won't guess it. The way you guys are pushing Leander on me feels like, listen. You know what? I'm not finishing my sentence. It's whatever. He has the nerve to laugh. Isn't that obvious? I wanted to lure you out here alone so I could eat you. Well, Verby, that's not true either. My white hair tier list is full, and we are no longer accepting applicants. Um, so there's that. With all of these remakes that we're getting, you know, our list is good and solid in that category. Now, the everybody else, it is not. Hello, there. Listen, I've collected them bad boys like they were Dragon Balls. All right, I got them, and that's it. Right. Let me like Chris and the other person who I'm not gonna name. We're just got to find out as I play it. Are you asking? Are you asking far too many questions for someone hiding so much? Because many Touchstarved memes in Discord today, I might have been overzealous. It's fine, you know. No such thing as overzealous. Also, verbally, the only thing you can smell through the phone is nothing because whatever you're thinking is all. It's not it, right? You know. He sneers and reflexively, I shove my hands deep into my cloak. Makes you think I'm hiding anything. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's the tough act or the way that you tense up at the slightest provocation. More likely it's the bandages. Not exactly subtle. I'm crying, Verby. I'll be going, unless you're willing to share some morsels with me. There's a biting edge to his playful tone. I couldn't tell you anything wrong. You can start with what you are. I'll take a step backward, but my back hits a wall as Veer follows me into in lockstep. I turn only to find his left hand resting on the wall beside my head, caging me in. Ornor. Veer reaches for me, his fingers curling around my chin and lifting, forcing me to meet his lidded gaze. Not the book talk lean. Would you believe me if I said that the eyes are the windows to the soul? Eyelid twitches. Cliche, I know. But let me tell you a little secret. Veer leans in until his lashes tickle my cheek with the warm, faint spice scent of his hair drowns out the stench of greasy cooking fires and chimney smoke. There's nothing you can hide from me. His voice is so low, so supple. I can slip into it. Crying. The misery born of your mistreatment haunts you. I understand what it's like to be used and thrown away. I'll give your life a new meaning. I swallowed thickly. How could he possibly know? No, this must be some kind of trick. Not overwhelmed. Not open up. I'm crying. But for once, Veer isn't smiling. All that suffering has made your soul irresistible. His piercing eyes pin me to the spot. The look on his face makes my blood run cold. I've seen it before. Traveling through the waste, the lanterns would occasionally reveal carcasses picked clean by starving scavengers. Those eyes shone in the dark with the same ravenous hunger. I'm comfortable. You know? I was like, that's the one. That's it. That's the one right there. Veer takes a shuddering breath. You're trembling. What if you and I went somewhere quieter, alone? What's more alone than this? In an alley. Alone? I've got nothing but 5-star reviews. I'm crying. I don't think I want you to eat me right now, sir. What do you mean, don't be an edgelord? Do it for the bit. Listen. All right. Okay, I'm like, I wouldn't go because one thing has already happened in my encounter with Veer that has me on edge in a sense that I would never follow. The fact that I left the bar and stood outside is already further than I would have personally gone. We'll run it back, but I would not say surrender. I wouldn't. I'm sick of running, of hurting, of suffering. Nah. I just turn around and leave. You have a good one. Enjoy whatever you said you had to do that was so important. Surrendering completely is the easiest thing I've ever done. I actively try to get choked out by a psychopath every night. That ain't shit. No. That is, first of all, that is so far from the truth. All right. First and foremost, Wesker is not a psychopath. Secondly, I don't actively seek that every single night, all right? Just because I play Dead by Daylight at like 2 a.m. means nothing, all right? If anything, yesterday, it means that game almost got uninstalled more than anything, all right? It's about arm's length from the truth. Far from the truth. As far as the next body of water that's close to me, all right? Whatever helps you sleep is... Aren't you supposed to be asleep, sir? Crying. Before I can finish, Veer hushes me. A gloved thumb runs across my lips, bringing the taste of leather when it dips into my mouth. He bends closer and closer. Okay, no. First of all, Lorian, Dead by Daylight has been really disgusting. It's people playing the game make it not fun. Everybody's slugging. Everybody's holding every match hostage. The killers are being really toxic. And then if we complain any bit, they're like keyboard warrioring us in the chat after the match. It's really annoying. All the killers that I keep getting every time I play are like the worst killers, as in the least fun killers, and it's very unfair advantage, as in they buffed and gave like Freddy all this dumb stuff that nobody ever wanted him to have, and people are just spamming it and not putting people on hooks, and then when they finally pick you up because they don't want you to bleed out, then they're like, oh, why aren't you following me? You don't get to be stanky nasty. And then after I've been stuck in this stupid match for 30 minutes because I can't DC because I've already got the penalty 3 times and I don't want to get my account locked, I have to sit here and go cook something so I don't punch my monitor because you're being a dingleberry. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's so bad. It's so bad. It happens every night. And I'm like, I'm insane because why do I keep coming back? Why do I keep coming back and playing the game? It's always the one sweet killer that makes me like, oh, okay, I can play a few more. But like, it's a lot of super gross killers. Super gross. It's really, really annoying. Because if you play Dead by Daylight, you know, you're like having fun, having a good time, and then someone slugs the entire match, and then when you're the last person alive, and they, for whatever reason, pick you up and make you like get dropped because they keep picking you up, whatever, and they're like, oh, let's play. No, I don't want to play with you. You were a dick the whole entire match. You don't get to switch up and be nice. Because I'm mad now. Get me out this game. Block, report, next match. Every game. Block, report, next match. It's stupid. So yeah, Dead by Daylight's been really disgusting. And I'm like, now I see why everyone's leaving the content creator program. If that's every game, I would not be able to stream this game. I'd be the way I got mad at Marvel Rivals, I'd be that every time I play Dead by Daylight on stream. I have one pinky, it's still healing. I only have so many fingers, you know? Anyway, yeah, so it's not always because I'm looking for a Wesker on Dead by Daylight. But whenever I do get the Weskers, it's worth it. That's your statement. I was playing Rivals and I like blew a gasket and I slammed my fist on my desk. But where I hit my desk, like most of my keys on my keyboard popped off from how hard I hit the desk, not realizing my pinky clipped the corner of my keyboard. My keyboard is acrylic. So I basically slammed the corner of my pinky knuckle into an acrylic keyboard. And I thought it was fine because, you know, whenever I get mad, I always just hit my desk. It's the cheapest thing in my vicinity that if something happens, I can replace the top easily. But I was playing the rest of the match and I was like, oh, okay, why does my mouse feel slippery? And I look down and it's blood. When I slammed my fist, I like lacerated it's a really tiny cut on my pinky, but it's deep. And so I like sliced my pinky open and there's like blood on my keys. There's blood on the glass of my case, blood on my mouse, blood on my mouse pad, blood on my stream deck, blood on my laptop. And I was like, we're just gonna turn the computer off. I'm done. I can't play this. I need to take a hiatus. I shouldn't get that angry. And realistically, like, yes, what was happening in the game was really annoying and really frustrating, but like I wouldn't normally react like that. You know? I know why I got angry. Like I know why I let it get that far. Because, you know, everything's happy. I don't have the angry emotion until I do. And then it's like, we're done. But yeah, that was like a week ago. My pinky still hurts, so it's not bleeding anymore. But yeah, if you get frustrated, just like maybe stop. Maybe go play like Tiny Glade, Animal Crossing, something that you cannot get frustrated on. Don't be like me. Don't stop playing Rivals and then go play Dead by Daylight. Through the gauzy veil of his hair, I see shadows spread in whirls of smoke. Eddies of darkness peeling off the walls and blooming to blot out the moon. Hello? Sensation flees with light, leaving the numb to everything except sudden pressure of a hand tightening around my throat. Hello? Something snaps and the bitter tang of copper floods my mouth. Veer's lip crushed mine as he swallows the reedy what? As he swallows the reedy thread of my final breath. This time death comes swiftly and permanently. Crazy. See what horniness gets you? Death! Oh gosh. That's the secret ending. I'm crying. Not in the good way. But yeah, I wouldn't surrender. You know, not me. Part of me wants nothing more than to let him take me, to surrender completely to him. Like, you let him take you where? What do you mean by that? It would be so easy. Oh, yeah, no, I just was, I got mad and I just punched my desk. My pinky took the L. It's alright. It'll heal at some point. I'm crying. Verby's like, worth. But I'm not about to give up now. You're late. The Ludus. Veer blinks. His voice comes out soft and breathy. Shame. He eases back in for what feels like the first time since he cornered me. I breathe, but my relief is short-lived. Nimble fingers trail down my jaw before closing around my throat. The touch is feather light and teasing, but my pulse still leaps. Veer's lips twitch into a smile. His white ringed pupils fanning with amusement. You're fun, Elvora, even if you frequently forget your place. If you ever call me a dog again, I'll break you. Understood? Bark, bark. My eyes narrow. My bad. That was so uncalled for. Oh, that was so uncalled for. He smiles wide enough to flash his sharp white fangs, as much a warning as a smirk. Yeah. As soon as Veer releases me, I slink against the alley wall to catch my breath. He looks down on me, his expression distinctly smug. Let's get one thing straight. I ate a monster 3 times your size for breakfast. 2, actually. The first tasted dreadful, like a fisherman's old ashtray. But that's beside the point. You and I may be alike, but don't ever forget what I am or what I do best. He flashed me a dazzling smile. Elvora! Anyone seen Elvora? Leander's voice echoes from the direction of the wick. I whip around, nearly called back before remembering Veer's apparent distaste for Leander. I glare back at Veer. Let's get one thing straight on that. Crying. Not y'all's Szechuans dancing together. Only he's gone, vanished into the dark. I'm left in the deserted alley, trembling with a delirious mixture of exhaustion and excitement. I let a long, shaky exhale that condenses into freezing air. Only once my racing heartbeat slows down do I make my way back toward the wick, guided by the distant sound of Leander's voice. Choose my fate! See, the way they're drawn here is like so delicious. So delicious that, you know? Oh, is this something new? Oh, you mean like their character should be shorter? Ah, okay, okay. Um, I guess that's fair. So I look at, but Curtis is still the tallest out of everybody. Mm, I think we'll start here. Let's see. Oh, okay. No, wait. We can just read about it. Okay, we'll look at everybody. Veer serves as a warning of the dangers posed by the Cenobium. As cunning as he is curious, Veer finds you fascinating and insists that he can help. But trusting him means entrusting your life to the collared beast with a lethal reputation. Can Veer protect you, or are his honeyed words a trap waiting to snap shut? Leander, the heroic mage. Hmm. Ah, okay, okay. Leander offers you something that should be impossible, a taste of normalcy free of your curse. As the first person to withstand your touch, he could change your life. But some things are simply too good to be true. Leander promises to help unravel your curse, but at what cost? Ace, the demon renegade. An intimidating yet laid back outsider, Ace presides over a sea spring with unnerving powers. He offers you a miracle, but the price means submitting yourself to the horrifying presence as the heart of the spring. Will you gaze into the abyss of answers, even at the risk of losing yourself? Purus, the repentant angel. The repentant angel, my bad. Um, from all appearances, Purus is a principled doctor of extraordinary skill. But you know little about the man beneath the professional mask, and Curtis keeps even his friends at a cool distance. If you uncover his deepest secret, will you like what you find? You like what you find? Men, the cursed outsider. Despite their cold nature and familiarity with violence, men is just as desperate as you to get into the Cenobium. You may be able to help each other, but they're keeping as many secrets as you. They claim they're dangerous, but they could be on. But could they be the your only chance at getting into the Cenobium? Hmm. 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 We'll follow Mr. Meatbat. See what he has going on. Oh, oh, that's the. Oh, okay, okay. I see. I see. Was that the end? I cry. Well, I guess I'm gonna go back. We'll do. We'll do Curtis next. Follow him and see what's up. We ended up following Veer first. So we're gonna do Curious next. Actually, well, we're already here. We'll do Curious now, and then we'll do Leander next because that was the other one that you guys voted. Hot on Curtis's Hill, I squeeze my way out of the bar. Of everyone I've met, he seems the most likely to help me, and the least likely to murder me on a whim. Earlier this morning, he said I could go to the clinic for help whenever I needed it. Time to see if that promise was actually worth anything. I breathe a sigh of relief once I'm free from the crowded bar. Curious healing me turns my way. Avoira, you seem upset. I take it the Amaryllis district is not to your liking. The mage who raised me sometimes made bizarre comments about the Amaryllis district, and and now I think I have an inkling of what she meant. That's not why I stepped out. Are you not in need of treatment after the fall, are you? Oh, you're not in need of treatment after the fall, are you? I scowl up at him. He holds out his hands in a mollifying gesture. I apologize over it. Please continue. About time. Ooh. Someone cuts right across me towards Curtis, stopping us both in the middle of the street. Even in the dim pink haze that seemed to blanket everything, there's no mistaking the pressed white uniform and stiffly starched hat. Another Cenobium cleric. I hastily step back, making myself as inconspicuous as possible. Can I help you? Nervous onlookers hastily part around Curtis and the cleric. The two form an island of white in a sea of teeming color. Enough. You know why I'm here. Ooh. Then I hope you find this edifying. Curtis reaches into his coat and produces 3 tiny glass vials bound together with a thick leather cord. Silvery powder shimmers inside. He gently flicks the glass, watching the contents swirl, and extends the vial to the cleric. This is it? I look extremely unimpressed. Appearances can be deceiving. He throws me a glance and a swift smile, but I'm too surprised to respond. Curtis was the first to warn me about the Cenobium. Nobody I met had anything good to say about them. And yet here he is, openly dealing with them in the Amaryllis district. I glance between Curtis and the cleric, who seemed to notice me for the very first time. Good night. They bow to Curtis, offer me extremely perfunctory nod, and disappear into the seething crowd. Elvora, is something amiss? What was that about? Yeah, what was all that about? Lower your voice. Is it of little? Oh, it is of little consequence. That's all you have to say after the earful you gave me about the Cenobium? Be calm. See, he holds a finger to his lips, which suddenly curls into a cat-like smile. For now, please join me on a short stroll. Curtis's golden eyes twinkle in the low light. He beckons me away from the main thoroughfare down a side street filled with vendors hawking late night snacks. What? Wait. Now, powerfully curious, in spite of myself, I hurry after Curtis. Illicit activities. Each of his long, graceful strides is easily 2 of mine. I catch a glimpse of his gleaming white coat disappearing around the corner of the street. The moment I catch up, the delicious scent of freshly baked goods flood my nose. My stomach gives a loud rumble. 1 honey pistachio cookie, please. I'm hungry! Coming right up. Without breaking his swift pace, Curtis plucks the sticky confection out of a merchant's hand and offers it to me. The heavenly smell makes my stomach rumble once more. I take a bite without hesitation. He watches me with an indulgent smile and notices he hasn't gotten anything for himself. You're not hungry? You need not concern yourself with me. He stops mid-sentence, his eyes darting back the way they came. The hairs stick up on the back of my neck. I turn just enough to peek over my shoulder, hoping I don't look too suspicious. Sure enough, it's the same cleric who waylaid us in the street, now wearing a thunderously angry expression. Ooh, uh-oh. Well, disappointment can be a learning experience. Glimmers of realization dawn over me as I stare up at him. What exactly was in those vials? Perhaps a rare and potent alchemical catalyst, or some still fish skin. The two do resemble one another. It can be hard to tell them apart. Is he serious? I chance other glance at the cleric who's now trying to elbow their way between the food stalls. Few people make way, but doesn't even notice their efforts. The street is far too crowded with hungry patrons. Shall we? Without even waiting for a response from me, he glides swiftly into the crowd once more. Is there a point to all this? In addition to my personal amusement, I suppose I would like to show you the sights. He is serious, or seriously fucking with me. I'm not sure which. My disquiet must show because Chris's mouth softens a bit. As I said, you have nothing to fear. He ducks into what looks like an abandoned doorway, but opens into a small covered market. The stalls here are full of more spices than I knew existed. Even taking a short break makes me sneeze. Chris slows his pace, occasionally pausing to examine the insistent hawker's wares. Wait, he looks up from a display of livid red leaves as long as my forearm. You said I have nothing to fear, but everyone in Iridia seems wary of the cenobium. People fear the obvious trapping of power, wealth, force, and hideously ostentatious power. For my part, I find such trappings merely disappointing. The cenobium once had great potential. They squandered it decades ago in pursuit of trinkets, pleasure, and petty tyranny. Their narrow, prosaic interests have rendered them blind to all those moves. I think that the most I've ever heard I think that's the most I've heard Curious say on the topic. You sound like you know them well. He let out a long, low sigh. You miss little Elvora. Familiarity breeds contempt, and I'm more familiar with the Snubium's crude methods than I would like. Now I'm getting somewhere, something beyond vague warnings or swift reflections. I desire to press the point while I have the chance. Familiar how? Ferris stops right in front of the display of pickled fruits, and I nearly run into his back. He steps aside at the last moment. His arms rest gently but firmly on my waist. I tense, but he's careful to avoid my bandaged hands. Our pursuer refused to take no for an answer. Them again? I thought we'd lost them in the crowd. I crane my neck to look for the cleric, but Curious shakes his head. This way. The next street over seems to be home to the high-end brothels. It's full of steep stairways and shadowed passages, perfect for discreet tryst or long, persistent tale. Pink curtains and painted facades sprawl around me like a giant, colorful warren. It only took a few more twists and turns down blind alleys and narrow walkways before I'm completely turned around. Curious, however, seemed to be following some map in his own mind. He takes each turn with swift confidence, guiding me with the occasional nudge. The gaps between teetering buildings can hardly be called alleys. So narrow we have to pass through single file. Just a little further. The effortless grace which he moves is almost infuriating. It takes every ounce of concentration I have to just avoid tipping over little tiles, discarded clothes, and unidentified rubbish. Meanwhile, his long legs almost seem to float over every obstacle. His clothes are still completely pristine despite the soot-stained walls on either side. How the hell does he do it? Some sort of enchantment woven into his jacket? A glamour spell? I'm still trying to puzzle it out, and I realize how warm it is with me practically tripping on his heels. The tiny gap between us seemed to radiate heat, like beating midday sun on the longest day of summer. We're gonna stay close. What you mean fall back? No. I definitely don't want to get lost here. I stay as close to Curious as I can without actually touching him. I promise I will not lose you. Was that obvious? Our eyes meet despite my best efforts. I find it hard to hold his gaze. I've never seen eyes like this. Despite our dark and dingy surroundings, it's like Curious radiates his own light whenever he looked at me. Thank you for indulging me, Elvora. I believe we have lost our tale. It's much quieter on the edges of the Amaryllis district, and the deals in the shadow look shadier. Did you enjoy our impromptu tour? I mean, if I was looking at it, sure. My eyes seem to have been anywhere else other than the surroundings, that is. um, right, like actually thinking about if you're falling behind him, I'd be like, how do you my brain would be like, how do you maintain a hairstyle like that? How do you like what does your daily hair routine look like? You have to detangle this piece. Like, do you just kind of shred through it with a brush while it's wet? Are you careful? Like, do you take your time? What product do you put in it to get it to stay like that? How does it still have body, but it's like perfectly curled? Explain this to me now. Relief escapes me in a tired laugh. After the day I've had, playing keep away from from a Cenobian cleric seems almost normal. I wasn't in mortal peril, so that's a nice change of pace. He laughs too, a soft and pleasant chuckle completely at odds with his usual cool demeanor. Are you sure we've lost a cleric? If there's one thing you can count on is the elitism of the Cenobium's finest. They will not they will not deign to follow us this far. He sounds confident enough. I was starting to wonder if we'd have made full circuit of the city to ditch them. A beam of moonlight cuts through the clouds, casting his face into sharp relief. However, I should escort you back to your lodgings. It would be unwise to let you go alone. What about you? Are you staying in the wet wick? Of course not. Then you're going back to your clinic alone? You just said it was a bad idea. He pauses, stares at me, and then his expression relaxes into a gentle smile. Fear not, Elvora. Only the most desperate or foolish would dare lay a hand on me. Oop. Sounds insane after 2 near-death soulless encounters, but part of me believes him. The few people who are still out huddled beneath street lamps in the doorways, despite desperate to be as close to safety as possible. Chris, on the other hand, looks more relaxed than I've ever seen him. He's strolling down the middle of the street, bold as if it were broad daylight. Even walking alongside him makes me feel more secure, warmer both inside and out. I hang on to that faint spark of hope and screw up my courage. Did you mean did you mean it this morning when you said I could come back to you for help? Every word. As his earlier mirth vanishes, replaced by calm focus. I don't know what to say to that. I almost expected his offer to be a courtesy and an easy way to get me out the door. The fact that he meant it. Why do you ask? I believe I've already made my intention to help you quite clear. His eyes flicked briefly to my arm, the one that miraculously reattached when he found me. I can almost imagine him counting the neat stitches. I just wanted to make certain. I'm still figuring out who's trustworthy and who's trouble. I see. Iridia does tend to attract extreme individuals, including you. Ah, Elvora, I decline to incriminate myself in your eyes. I can recognize a smooth reflection when I hear one. Though if he won't talk more about himself, maybe he'll tell me about someone else. I decide to ask him about Leander. When he get to talk about him to Veer. Why'd you send me to Leander for help? You know Iridia better than Leander. The company he keeps can be questionable, but I had confidence in him. His little smirk gets you? Yeah, his bloodhounds seem rough around the edges. Leander always preferred the company of those like him, survivors of Lowtown's harsh realities. You must have noticed how they flocked to him. I nod. He seemed to know every single person in Wetwick. And that's a good thing? Leander's closest peers trust him with their lives. I would say that counts for something. I'll see his perspective of men. You and Min sounded like you knew each other well. Chris heaves a long-suffering sigh. I know them better than most, and less well than I would like. Like you, Min is a recent arrival. Their time here has been practically difficult, as much as I would like to help. He trails off, but I know exactly what he's talking about. Min didn't seem like the sort of person who would accept help easily. They always pick fights that are twice their size. I have implored them not to. They rarely listen. I'll see his perspective on Veer with Veer hating him or disliking him too. No. Yeah. 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 Ooh, it's the same for him too. Okay. So something happened on both sides from to hate each other. Okay. Veer's visibly stiffens. I remember the venom in Veer's voice when he grabbed me. That fucking doctor. It looks like the feeling is very mutual. Regrettably, Veer is one of my worst patients. How did you cross his path? He stole my room key. You're fortunate that he did nothing else. He is far deadlier than he seems. There is a reason he is not at liberty, a reason for the collar and chain. He seemed pretty dodgy to me already. I hesitate, waiting for Curious to elaborate, but he seems to find even seems to find even the thought of Veer distasteful. I'll do Ace. Have you ever been out to see Ace at the Sea Spring? Once. Only once? Seems like a sea spring with miraculous powers could be of interest to a doctor. A long silence follows, so long that I'm not sure Curious heard me. I'm about to repeat myself when he finally speaks in a near whisper. Ace is the rare newcomer who has proven himself immediately worthy of respect. The sea spring is another matter. Hidden depths often contain unwelcome secrets. You can say that about anything around here. A fair point, nonetheless. I've seen many purported wonders, and the sea spring is unlike any other. Only time will tell what that means. My curiosity sated for now. I fall silent. I wish Curious had given me a little more to go on, but he seems almost as tight-lipped about the others as he is about himself. By the time we're back at the Wet Wick, Amarillo's district seems even noisier and more rushes than before. uh, Drunken patrons overflow into the streets which reek of spit. How am I supposed to sleep with all this racket? I suggest the stiffest drink at the bar, alternatively, a ball of wax. Very funny. Even with how tired I am, I'm not sure I'll get a wink of sleep. But I'm about to say goodnight to Curtis when someone staggers out of the wet wick and right into me. I stumble back, heels teetering on the edge of the filthy gutter. Elvoya? The next thing I know, a pair of warm arms catch me around the waist. I find myself staring up at Curtis pressed against his chest. His grasp loosens when he doesn't quite let me go. Something shifts in his gaze. His eyes fix on my face, and I feel myself growing hot all over at his intense scrutiny. What does he see in me? What is he looking for? Chris? Ah, my apologies. Even after he moves away, the warmth of his touch lingers through my clothes. I quickly tuck my cloak straight, trying to recollect my scattered thoughts. Good night. Thanks for everything today. You are most welcome. How sweet! He turns to slip into the crowd, though I can pick up his pristine white coat with ease. A chilly gust howls down the street. When did it get so cold out? How cute! He's using some magical something to keep them warm. Aw. I'm only saying that because when I'm going to go talk to Veer, it's like you can see your breath outside. So I'm like, it's cool out. Mysteriousness. I think yeah. I still think so far, like, thinking about, my like, my characters I like from Love and Deep Space. Chris kind of gives Zane vibes in a way. Like he seems like he would be like Zane from a personality standpoint, and I really like Zane. So, mhm, mhm, mhm. Mm, 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 mm. Sometimes I find myself waiting for someone. All right, we're gonna go follow Leander, the blood of Lathander. Absorbing it all in. All right, for the second time today, I find myself squeezing through the crowd to reach Leander. As soon as he sees me, his easy smile fades. Are you all right? I'm not used to someone looking at me with such earnest concern. I've been through worse today. From the sound of it, you've had quite the day. How are you holding up? Um, I'm all right. Well, I'm alive still. That counts for something, right? Iridia. I know. Resting so bubbly, sir, on this Tuesday. Hello. Um, Iridia is not an easy place to live, but you get used to it eventually. Let's hope so. Leander signals for the bartender. I'm parched. Do you want anything? I'll have a drink. Something strong and simple. I'm more so meant like water, like I have been drinking all day, but I guess that works too. He raises two fingers at the bartender. Make that two. Once he's ordered, Leander turns back to me. Did you at least go to try any good food? I had these fried dough sticks from a vendor near here. As soon as I began describing my meal, his eyes brightened with recognition. The long lads from Windsall, you've gotten to try them with porridge? Porridge? I don't like the texture. There's another stall about a block away with these rosewater rice flour cakes. Those sound fire. Take one bite and you'll think you've been transported into Hightown. Then, bam, you open your eyes and it's the same trash lined street as always. He laughs. His hair falls over his eyes. He shakes his head and pushes it back. I'll show you sometime if you decide to stick around Lowtown, that is. The Iridia Lender describes as the Iridia Leander describes is far different from the one I've experienced. But if you live anywhere long enough, I suppose it becomes home. Seems like I'll be here for a while. Maybe I'll take you up on that. The bartender returns with a pair of glasses and pushes them our way. Cheers. Leander clinks his glass against mine. I take a deep sip of the musky dark ale, savoring its flavor. It's surprising finding out that you all know each other. I didn't think Iridia would be so small. Do you know how many times I've tried getting them all in one place? It's impossible, like trying to herd a bunch of soulless. I take it you know them well? Depends. Was there anyone you're curious about in particular? I want to hear you talk about Veer. What do you know about Veer? Leander shakes his head slowly, his expression grave. Veer, a living example of the Cenobium's cruelty. Most days, they keep him on a short leash. I'm surprised you ran into him. So tell me, what do you make of him? Mm, he was kind of rude. Uh, sure. I want to know more about him. Wouldn't we all? He's mysterious, and not just because the Cenobium keeps him locked up. The way they treat him, it's just not right. Do you know why he's a prisoner? Nobody knows. He's been in prison for as long as anyone remembers. But whatever he did must have been awful considering the punishment. He's charming, but but like any monster, he's dangerous. If you ever see him out hunting, you know what I mean. Leander swirls his glass, choosing his next words carefully. Don't fall for his looks. He'll rip your throat out if you run. We know. Very well, actually. About Chris. Do you and Chris work together? Occasionally. Did the mysterious, competent doctor catch your eye? Eh, seems like a good person. Though it's hard to believe anyone's a good person these days. That's him. He works hard to serve the people of Lowtown. He's a miracle worker, even if his bedside manners could use some work. You think he may be able to hear my curse? Leander starts to speak, but pauses to consider me for a moment first. Chris is good, but he's only a doctor. Besides, unless you're actively dying, he'll make you wait in line all day like everyone else. Hmm. It is kind of interesting to hear them, like, hearing them talk about each other, but then knowing what you know about them from the other people you've talked to them about. It's a cool full circle how, like, exactly how they're described a lot of times in reference to that specific person uh, is very uh, solid and continuous. It's like, oh yeah, I don't like that guy. He can go kick rocks with no socks. Men's interesting, not very forthcoming though. Ah, men, my favorite grouchy freelancer. What's your impression of them? And they seem kind of lonely or irritable. They seem irritable. I think that's a more accurate. They're a testy one. You've got that right. Sometimes even paying men for work can be a struggle. Men work for you? Contract only. Men refuse to join the Bloodhounds, but they take jobs for me often enough to qualify. Just don't ever call them a Bloodhound, okay? I'll get an earful. What about Ace? I've been for a while, but he's rarely in town. Where'd you run into him? The Sea Spring? Leander chokes on his drink. He coughs violently until his fist before giving me a surprise look. You went all the way out there? How'd he treat you? I'm not gonna lie, he was intimidating. Don't let it get to you. Ace does well in Iridia because he knows how to scare people. He's a monster. You really don't think he's a threat? Not in the slightest. I like to think of us as rivals. We like to keep each other on our toes, you know? Don't you think being rivals with a monster is a bad idea? If we wanted to disembowel you, it would be easy. No, no, it's not. Oh no, no, it's not that serious. Sure, Ace likes to toe lines on purpose, but he's not such a bad guy when you get to know him. Leander sighs and takes a swig from his glass. That about covers it. Aren't you tired of standing? Let's go find you somewhere to sit. Leander pushes away from the bar, beckoning me to follow him. He leads me to the small booth hidden in the nook of the bar. A pair of bloodhounds notice him and immediately leap to their feet, offering their seats to us. As I slid into the booth, a web of graffiti scratched on the booth's tabletop catches my eye. The deepest grooves from the outline of the dog from Leander's posters. Dozens of roughly etched names surround the drawing, some fresh, some well worn. What is all this? It's a tradition. Whenever someone joins the Bloodhounds, they have a drink with us and then they carve into their initials. The barkeeper must love that. After the first year, she finally stopped charging us extra for damages. 2 years and countless drinks later, she added her own name. You're not planning on recruiting me, are you? He quickly shakes his head. Not yet. You need time to think about your own path. Do you know what you're going to try next? The question gives me pause. I take my hands out from under my cloak and rest them on the table. Do you think you can help me? Of course. We can find answers together. Leander starts to reach for me, but as though meaning to take my hand before stopping himself, his eyes flicker to mine. I won't fail you, Elvora. And if you ever need a taste of normalcy, I'll always be here for you. A taste of normalcy, you say. My chest tightens at the memory of touching him. Even now, Leander swallows. The table groans around his elbows as he leans forward. Booth is so narrow he completely blocks my view of the bar counter. It's almost though Leander and I are completely alone. If that's what you want. How did it make you feel? It was warm, exciting. I don't know how to describe it. Leander rests his hand on the table. He looks at me, smiling when I place my hand in his. Slowly, he begins unwinding the bandages, stopping ever so often to glance at me. As my skin becomes visible, I cast a nervous glance around the bar, but as far as I can see, no one's paying us any attention. Leander squeezes my hand gently. No one will notice. He pulls back, raising his hand to his mouth so he can tug his glove off with his teeth. The muscles in his forearm tighten as he flexes his fingers. Our eyes meet, and Leander offers his hand again. There you go. Hand holding on demand. A lump forms in my throat. I'm certain Leander sees it in my face, the flicker of desperation. His voice lowers to a whisper. Anything you want, Elvora. Chill. I'm crying. Touch his face. It's red. He's gonna die. I already know, you know. So, I guess to catch you up since you weren't here yesterday on it, Verby, um, the character, the main character has a curse, and basically anything she touches, anyone she touches, perishes, and so that's why her hands are wrapped because she can't like actually like have skin to skin contact with her hands with anybody else. It sends them, yeah, like Rogue from X-Men. So him, yeah, them like her him being able to hold her hand is a really really big thing for her because she has not been able to touch anybody, and so hence touch starved. Like that's the whole you know. Petition next time MC and Leander have a moment, the red option will be to bury our face in his giant tits. You know. So for all the creatures who have touched us, though, yeah, yeah, because slamming the motorboat option, I'm crying. So the way we meet, well, if you decide to play the demo or get the game yourself, not to like spoil it, but um, essentially everyone we've met, uh, how we met Chris is that he's a doctor. You know, we got injured. He took our unconscious body, helped put us back together, basically. So waking up naked in a doctor's office with a stranger wasn't on our main character's bucket list, but here we are. Then Leander, you know, takes his glove off and just raw dogs our hand, and he doesn't perish. So we're like, oh, okay. Um, technically, um, Veer, he was all touchy touchy, didn't perish. We were like, I don't want to have another body on my name, but you know, that's been cool. Um, Leander said raw hand holding. Next question. um, I gotta go back, I guess, and look at our men interaction. We haven't uh no condominium or anything. Eesh. Um, yeah, I don't think men has actually touched us yet. But we also literally they were the last person we met like 2 seconds prior to walking into the bar, so we know the least about them just from interaction wise. We've only had really one true interaction. Um, so yeah, men protect us, but I'm just saying like everybody else has had physical contact with the character except men. Like men didn't get to raw dog our hand or anything like that. They just stopped us from dying. Um, oh, Ace. We didn't touch Ace either. Yeah. Yeah. So if I were to rank them from intimate to least intimate, the top three intimate people would be Chris, Leander, and Veer. They're the like top three in terms of intimate actions we've already or intimate encounters we've already had. So just some food for thought. Yeah, meat to meat raw. I blurt out the first request that comes to mind. Can I touch your face? I'm crying. Oh, sure. That's a great question, actually, because that would mean that unless he uses Gojo's infinity, like other parts would have to come in contact as well. You know? I'm crying. That's fair. Yeah, he does. There's that little sleep. Lean over the table, hesitating before I reach for his face. When my fingers graze his jaw, Leander laughs softly. That tickles. It's fine. You can just. He takes my wrist, angling his face so he presses his cheek into my palm. The warmth spreads under my fingertips. A surprised breath escapes me. A man with a plan. I'm crying. Gently, I rub my thumb down the ridge of his scar of his cheek. There you go, Gigi. There you go, Gigi. you know? An opening as well. I'm crying. Well, we saw Veers fit the booty shorts with the thigh high shoes, shoe sock combo. You know, he shudders, his earring jingling against my knuckles. You're getting awfully bold. I've never touched someone like this before. Even though it makes my head spin, it's already not enough. I want to be even closer. Twitch asking if I really want to send those to sending me. I'm crying. Of course, Serenity. We love you too. You have a good night. Hope you get a good night's rest. Honestly, that part, Savi. My heart hammers, filling my ears with pulse that grows unbearably loud. So I pull my hand back. You all right? Yeah. I can barely hear his words over my pounding heart, but I manage to nod. Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry. I think I'm just getting a little dizzy. I'm crying. How convenient. How convenient. He gives me a gentle smile, eyes crinkling at the edges. You've had a long day. You deserve some rest. Luckily, your room is just upstairs. Want me to walk you back? I shake my head and begin wrapping my hand back up. With each deep breath, my head feels more clear. So restrained. Gotcha. Sign me up. I'm fine, but thanks for, well, everything. Remember what I told you. If you ever need a break from the chaos of the city, I'll be here for you. When I rise, Leander gives me one last smile. Good night, Avora. Night. I trudge upstairs, but even as I leave Leander behind, the warmth of his skin still lingers on mine, burning through the bandages. It's funny how, which I know technically with the Expo, technically through all the ones we've had, everybody has like, cool, go get some seats. You know? All I wanted this whole, ever since I got back from meeting Ace, I'm like, can I go to sleep? You're all having fun and doing all great together. I want some sleep. You can get drunk at the bar without me. I'll rendezvous with you lads tomorrow. Vera said to give you that long. Yeah, Vera said you're gonna take the longest nap you've ever taken. It's gonna be so long, you might not even wake up from it. Like, hello? I don't know if that's the one I was looking for though. Let's follow men. I can't let men slip away so easily. They may be the most standoffish person I've met so far, but they're the only one who seemed even close to neutral on the Cenobium. They implied all of them would do it, you know? Saving Ace for last, I see. No. I just wanted to go ahead and run through Leander real quick. Sheesh, does that make me a criminal? What do you mean? My gut tells me they know more than more about that tower than they're letting on. By the time I make it out of the bar, they're already halfway down the street. Drawing my cloak close to ward off the chill, I hurry after them. But at this hour, the Amaryllis district is full of carousing people. While men slip through the crowd with surprising agility, I struggle to keep pace. The edge of the cloak flutters as they round the corner. I'll pay more attention. I don't think I've noticed it. Their eyes are so piercing. I'm always like, determined to at least try to catch up. I take the same turn into a dim side street. But men is nowhere to be seen. Didn't you learn your lesson earlier? Okay. I nearly jump out of my skin, whirling to find men right behind me. They don't even look ruffled. They fold their arms pointedly, staring me down. I thought nearly getting eaten would teach you that being out alone is alone at night is dangerous. I'm not alone, am I? What about you? Obviously, you have proven that you can take care of yourself. So I feel dumb asking that, kind of. You know, it's a good thing I'm not alone, then, isn't it? Min looks at me in blank confusion for a moment before realization dawns. Are you always so persistent? Aw, hee hee. I don't really know how to read them. They shift between aggressive and hesitant without warning, and I have no idea how to tell which way they'll swing. But I can't help feeling a little thrill when pink sweeps across their cheeks. I kind of have to be. You see, situations like this, the same way that we treated Leander when we walked in, you got to walk up and you got to throw that thing on the table. You know, gotta let everybody know you mean business. Anyway, I kind of have to be to stay alive. They have a bird theme though, so maybe it was over for you. Yeah. Gotta go to sleep. Okie dokie, what up? 5 hours? Oh, okay. Good night. Hello, buds. Go to sleep immediately right now. Blink and fall asleep right now. Right now. Good night. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll catch you later. Also, I know talking about our schedule and change and how it is jarring to go from 3 to 9. When I get acclimated with the intense time change for myself, I will go back to 2 streams a day. There will be a really early stream at like noon Central Time, and then the 9 p.m. stream. So both around 3 to 4 hours. So, you miss one part, you can always hop in on another part if 9 is too late or 12 is too early. And in both instances, all of my streams are getting uploaded to YouTube now. So you miss something here and you're like, oh, it's been 2 weeks. I've been just not catching up consistently. You can always just hop over and catch the VOD on the tube. Unless I played something dastardly, then it won't be on the tube because, yeah, a lot of effort to edit a lot of things out like that. That's why. RIP to those really funny, really, really great Baldur's Gate streams when we were doing our meat to meat streams, Yeah, not at all. Not at all. And if anything, because I'll look at Kick just because it's like diabolical over there. I think Kick VODs stay up forever. Don't quote me. But if that's the case, I'll stream it here in Kick. And we'll do it that way. It does. Same. I have the account. I don't follow anybody over there. I don't watch anybody stream. I really just use it as a test stream site. Like, oh, I gotta do this thing, but I don't want to like go live on Twitch. I'm gonna go live on Kick. That's what that is to me. So yeah, that, and then maybe if I play something exceptionally raunchy, I'll play it over there. That's the only place I know I'm not gonna get banned. It's sad, dastardly even. The only thing about a burner Twitch account is that if something happens to one, if you get banned, Twitch will ban both. Anything linked to you, they'll take all of it off. They don't just take where the infringement happens. The only downside with that, because technically I do have a burner Twitch account, but I don't use it. It's just collecting dust. You're absolutely hooked on this game. I'm way more excited about it than I realized than I thought I would be. We basically beat the demo. We're on our second to last person, kind of getting to know everybody. So we're getting a little taste of what everyone's about. I really like it. I really like it. I need 2026 to come on and just bring itself around. You know, we're already claiming 2026 is going to be out here because 2025. Well, you know. No, you're good, Becky. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Indubitably. Right. I was like, come on, guys, don't let that. And then it was like 2 weeks later. And I'm like, we can't let it 1 month later. You know? Let's start planning for our 2026. I'm just gonna write the rest of it off. It's gonna be, we're all gonna make it. You know? Right, sweet smile. We are, Savi. January has been the longest year in forever. I'm like, man, time is flying but going in slow motion at the same time. There you go. There you go. All right, Min covers their composure quickly, their mouth shifting into a frown. They glance away, eyes sweeping across the street. You've been lucky so far, but it won't last. Nobody in this city is trustworthy. So, oh, not even you? Ew, the main character is too me. What's happening? Who wrote this? Which one of you worms took my brain and connected it to the people who wrote this game? What's happening? Stop it. I don't like it. It's too on point. I find myself being like, oh, and I'll say something, and when I click it, it's verbatim dead ass what the main character says, and I'm like, attacked. Right, I'm like, I feel attacked. What's happening? I'm so used to playing like dating sims, like ultimate games, where like the main character says and does some of the stupidest stuff that I would never do or say. And I'm like, this is not, I'm really having to pull all of my creative juices and put them in a cup together to mentally make this storyline work for me. And this game is not that. I'm like, think a thought. I don't even say it. Sometimes I think it and it's up and I'm like, oh, all right. So maybe this is pretty close to how I would react in these situations. I don't know. Especially not me. It's crazy. I've met clams that opened up more willingly than men, but even if they don't talk about themselves much, they must have opinions about. Tell me about. How do you feel about Veer? Talk to me. How did you meet Veer? Yes, that's literally it, Serena. That's literally it. Men's face scrunches like they've just been bitten by a rotten lemon. Oh, bit into a rotten lemon. Why is it a lemon? Stop. Chill. That perverse flea bag dumped me during Fogfall. I'm crying, not a flea bag. So I stabbed him and left him in the gutter where he belongs. My heart thuds hard in my chest. Their voice is icy with disgust. The night air feels warm by comparison. It's only a shame it didn't stick. I suppose I'll just have to keep trying. I remember how they dispatched that Solus earlier. Understanding anatomy is one thing, but that precise clinical strike spoke of practice. This isn't the dev's first game, so probably why most of them came from the Arcane or Arcana. I remember that game. I do not. I wonder how many times they've killed to get so good at it. I take your opinion hasn't changed. He fucks people for kicks. Every sentence out of his mouth is either crass innuendo or conceited put down. And whatever he's done is bad enough that the Cenobium has him on a leash. There are monsters living on every other street. He's the only one who needs a muzzle before he's taken out for a walk. Belatedly, I close my mouth. So, Ace? You don't seem to like Ace. I don't like anyone, but especially not that bloodthirsty gangster. The words tumble from their mouth before I can finish my sentence. Did he do something to you? Beyond existing? No. But I'm not waiting around to get hurt first. That sea spring he runs with all those smiling red-eyed people, I suppose is one saving grace is that he hasn't forced anyone to drink from it yet. Monsters like him don't know or care about what they have. It makes me sick. Their voices echo down the empty street, startling me. I blink, staring at them. You really don't like monsters, do you? Men fix me with a flat gaze, their pale eyes like tips of ice. Every monster forced their way out of the shroud and into this world for some reason. I may not know Ace's reason, but to that vast majority of monsters, humans are food, playthings, or beneath notice. That may simply be their nature, but I don't have to like it. I'm not going to risk my life in the hopes that one of them is different. A lot of humans fear or hate monsters, but there is something different about how men talks about them. It sounds personal. We're gonna keep asking questions. Uh, ask about something else. You and Chris seem to get along though. The tense lines of men's features soften. He's an exception. Few people are willing to help others. Fewer when there's any risk involved. And of them, Chris is unique. I have a feeling that men doesn't often smile, but the curve of their lips, however slight, is unmistakable. They catch themselves, their expression closing off near audible snap. He's not the worst, a decent doctor, even if he asks too many questions. But nothing is really free here. Makes a lot of sense. Very similar art style. Ah, Je t'aime, Perry. Unique is one way to describe his work. Unconsciously, I grip my stitched arm and where the Solus severed it. Min glances at me almost knowingly. The only one, the only one of its kind, not replicable by anyone else. It's a fitting word. I wonder what injuries Chris has healed for men, or whether they know how he does it. But if they did, I doubt they'd tell me. Leander seems fond of you. He's an idiot, an obnoxious blowhard who can't shut up to save his life. Their words are harsh, taken at face value, but it's at complete odds with the flesh. Oh, creeping across their cheeks. I see. Is that all? They huff. It seems to physically pain them to speak again. He does acceptable work. He pays on time, which is more than I can say for most. But his bloodhounds look after Lowtown. If he was capable of being quiet for more than 10 seconds at a time, he'd be almost tolerable. Their tone grows more fond of more fond, almost fond. But then their brows draw together at the glare as they glare at me. But I'm not one of his bloodhounds. If he told you otherwise, he was talking out of his ass, as usual. He has work to offer, and sometimes I take it. That's all. Somehow I doubt that, but Min seems disinclined to say more. Doors bang open at the end of the street. Light and laughter pour out of the bar, followed by a group of giggling people with white uniforms. Snobium students having a night on the town. Men hesitate only for a moment before they start down the street in the same direction as the students. When I follow close to their heels, they grimace, speaking through gritted teeth. Why are you still following me? When I asked them about Veer, I noticed something odd beside their vehement dislike of him. While men didn't exactly sound enthusiastic about the Cenobium, they were the first to speak of it with anything besides open animosity. Ahead of us, the students pile into another bar. Men ducks into the alley next to it. If anybody in this city is trustworthy, what about the Cenobium? The line of their narrow shoulders abruptly tense. They lift their chin, giving me a weary look. Curious must have warned you about the nature of the city's currency. Right. Information and secrets. I fidget, uncertain. I don't trust men's merciful moods or all the things they clearly aren't saying. Their eyes dip toward their hands, passing over the bandages like a razor, the pressure light, but full of keen edge possibility. I shiver, hastily shoving my hands in my pocket. They frown, but their gaze drifts away from me, to the window, to the bar next to us. It's opaque, either frosted glass or caked in dust, but some of the warm light diffuses into the alley. The Cenobium is a place of learning. If someone has questions that can't be answered anywhere else, the Cenobium might have the solution. Or at least that's how it was once upon a time. These days, its doors are closed for outsiders. That's about what I expected after how I was practically shooed off earlier. Just as I started to relax, they spoke again. Whatever you're looking for there, the cost may be higher than you are willing to pay. The sheer hypocrisy of their words ticked me off. What gives you the right to talk when you're doing the same exact thing as me? What questions are you asking that only the Cenobium can answer? That's personal. So there is something men's looking for at the Cenobium. I suppose that makes two of us. If they're following groups of Cenobian students around, they must not be having such much luck either. Everyone seems to fear or hate the Cenobian book, but you don't. They flinch, spurred onward by curiosity and my lingering annoyance. I press forward. You must know something about them, something you haven't told Leander or Curtis. But they're not letting you in, which means you're one of the outsiders. Oop. In the space between one breath and the next, men close the distance between us. Slender fingers grip the front of my shirt and they slam me against the wall with shocking strength. The force of the movement knocks their hood back, messy hair flooding around their face. I'm standing on tiptoe, men's lifting me nearly clear off the ground with a single hand. The realization sends an electric tingle down my spine before I can begin to wonder what that's about. Men snarls in my face. Oh? Shit. mm. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. The angry twist of their mouth draws my eyes down to the beauty spot in the corner of their lips. I can't seem to stop staring at it. Gotta throw it on the table, which men just did. Cool. It's incongruously delicate compared to the fire in their gaze. The steel bones strengthen their grip, but then so is the rest of them. Kiss the beauty mark, coward. No, you just gotta lick it to make sure it's not food. What? That sounds crazy. Neither do you. We're practically strangers, so why are you acting like you know anything about me? Your line of questioning isn't exactly subtle, but it's not hard to guess that has something to do with your hands. You think you can use me to get into the Cenobium? Don't be naive. I don't get angry easily. I can't afford to when the moment of carelessness would be fatal. But when they mention my hands, my temper flares hot. Who says I'm the only one who needs you? Realization strikes me like a thunderclap. You're not getting anywhere by yourself either, are you? But you can't make yourself ask for help. Touch them and find out. Ooh, you're stuck and it's your own fault. I brace myself, expecting men to snap at me again. Instead, their gaze drops, eyes falling from my face. Their their brows furrows in frustration, but the twist of their mouth is miserable. Their voice trembles almost imperceptibly when they speak. I know this city only cares about what you can give or what it can take from you: information, power, connections. If you're an outsider here, nobody will help you. Nobody will even try. You don't belong anywhere. My heart thuds in my chest for an entirely different reason now. They seem suddenly so small, alone, like me. Men. Men jerked backwards, releasing me so abruptly that I nearly tumble. Maybe they realized how close we were. Maybe they said too much. Yes, that too. Because this whole interaction with men, first off, men was kind of giving me like, they're gonna be a hard ass the entire time. I'm either gonna have to chip away at this, like it's an ice sculpture when I have all I have is like a pick and a little carvy thing. Like that's all I have to like chip away at this surface. But like no, you throw your on the table, I'm throwing mine twice as hard, you know? And I'm glad we did that. Kind of cool. But now I want to press forward. Determined not to let this go, I press forward. Min takes another step back, but this time they're the one with their backs against the wall. Look, we both want the same. We both want something from this Nobium, right? But neither of us are going to get anywhere on our own. We could help each other. It's worth a shot, don't you think? Min sighs. They sound annoyed, but any real hostility seems to have gone out of them. You've made it this far already. I'll grant you that. But if you're looking for help, you should look elsewhere. If you stay too close to me, you will get hurt. Before I can think of what to say, the tavern doors bang open again. The Cenobium students spill back out, considerably drunker. Their ranks seems to have swelled with other barflies. The group floods back into town toward the great tower, rising moonward. As I'm distracted by the commotion, Min slips away from me, drawing their hood up. I catch their eyes for just a moment, and then they're gone, vanishing into the crowd. Damn! Shit! Shit! I think through all of this, though, like, right, I can't wait to see what they're gonna look like. I can't wait to see what they're gonna look like. You know, I got questions. All right, the last creature. Yeah, the demo's free, Verby. Yeah, I'm like, Min was giving Sasuke. Like, I'm just broody. I just have this, that, and the other. Um, all that. But that little pushback and the little like, okay, fine. It's like, oh, okay. You're all bark, some bite. All right. You're not all bite, but you know, some bite. Okay. Okay. Um, morbid curiosity draws me after Ace. I slink out the back of the wet wick. Oh, this was pre 800K. Ah, okay. Say less, say less. The alley's dead silent. Not really what I expected from a fight. A dull crunch reaches my ears, then a thud. I peer around the corner of the building, careful to keep hidden. Hey, yo. Dark, glistening red splatters the ground, spidering through the seams of the cobblestone. It guides my eye to a collapsed body across from me. Once so violent, the roughneck, always now a little more than a sack of crumpled flesh blotted with mud. This was literally the hey guys, here's our dear demo. Like, this is zero funding version. Oh, yeah, okay. I understand. I get it now. Ace exhales, his breath misting against the cold air. Blood flecks his knuckles as he looms over the motionless body, his feet on either side of it. Fear spreads like ice in my bones. Moments ago, he was joking and friendly with the others, but now, Ace crimson eyes find me in the dark. Not running, Sparrow? Also, if we're talking about boobacious boobs, like arguably Leander has big boobs because he has that strap that lifts his man bra, and we just see that Ace isn't wearing his, but oh no, another nickname that's never always good. Crying. I warily raised to my feet, moonlight illuminating my face. I thought I was out of sight. Got eyes in the back of my head. Ace steps off the roughneck. My eyes stay locked on the body. It's wet with layers of blood and grime, completely still. He's alive. Are you sure? Calling me a killer or a liar? Liar. Which I guess is both. In that case, he's dead. I squint and he smirks back. Don't believe me? To be honest, it's hard to believe anything coming out of your mouth. Crying. I am a liar after all. His bloody knuckles catch his attention. He tried to rub them clean, but ends up smearing the blood around more. I keep making bad impressions on you. I didn't know you cared about my opinion. Just prefer you didn't piss yourself when we talk. Annoyance bubbles in my chest. Well, I'm not pissing myself, even with your bad impressions. Like the first time we met, Ace chips away at my fear, replacing it with irritation instead. Ace kneels beside the roughneck and frisks him. I can't help but wonder if the crime was worth the punishment, but I hold my tongue. Deftly, Ace's hands search through the roughneck's pockets. It doesn't take him long to find his prize, a cigarette and a matchbox. He strikes the match, sparks lit up his angular features with a golden glow. It's distracting for a moment, but my gaze immediately drops back to the muddy body. You're gonna leave him there? Ace draws deep from the cigarette, exhales heavily, smoke curling past his lips. I breathe in the sweet spice scent of cloves. As his tension melts away, he looks at me with cold, lidded eyes. Should I give him a blanket? Unbothered by the maybe corpse, he takes a seat on the crate opposite the bar. I stand awkwardly, forgetting why I came out here in the first place. An unpleasant silence stretches between us. Weather's nice. Cold, murky, and humid, he means. I want to believe he's teasing me, but for all I know, this is pleasant for Iridia. Was Princess good company? Who? Who? He takes another long drag. His metal rings. I forgot he has on rings. His metal rings catch the light of the cigarette in a flash of red. The soul is who escorted you back. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. You named it Princess? Jealous? I return his smile. You have no idea. I think your nickname's more fitting. Sparrow? Not sure where Ace got it from. Maybe I should tell him to call me by my name, but it's kind of nice. I'm crying. Ah, okay. Ooh, Certified Hood Classic. Wait, I just gotta. Give me a moment. Listen to my voice calling you on your name. Certified Hood Classic right here. Okay. Where was I? Not that I ever tell him that. Before I can dissect my feelings, I quickly change the subject back to the solace. It was kind of cute in a weird way. I glanced absentmindedly at my hand, remembering how she nuzzled into my palm at my touch. Ace's eyes softened for a brief moment. Her tail wouldn't stop going when she got back. The group of them don't get much attention. Think she's cute now. Wait till you see her tricks. You taught her tricks? Princess is a smart one. She'll learn anything if you have the right rewards. Sounds about right. The idea of tamed soulless is still so outlandish to me. I was mauled by a mindless, bloodthirsty beast, and he's talking about them like they're pets. But it is possible, all because of the sea spring. I need to get the answers he wouldn't give me before. I carefully take a seat beside him on the crate, contemplating my strategy. He doesn't seem to mind. He closes his eyes and tilts his head back against the wall, relaxed. Under the pressure of his intense gaze, I feel myself ease up too, as long as I keep my attention away from the bloody heap across from us. I glance over at Ace and allow my eyes to linger. A sea glass colored tattoo spirals up his arm, painting over grooves of muscle. Silver jewelry glints in the moonlight. It draws my eyes to the bare chest, rough hands, carved jaw. His ears, his horns, his pupils, everything about him is sharp, even the fangs that only show when he grins. But as dangerous as he appears, I can't help wanting to know more. I wonder how recently he crossed over to this world and why. Huh? Still want to know why he has that little vibrator necklace on? Not very slow. What are you talking about? What? What's your verdict? With my head in the opposite direction? What verdict? Got a long, good look. Are you impressed or do I need work? My face grows hot. What is that? I'm crying. I He's covering his tits. I can't see it now. I don't even know what that is. I'm crying. I'll try to pay attention. Um, you're annoying. That's not the same. I'm crying. Verby, enough. That's not the same. You bet what, huh? Oh, that's a vial of water. Oh, I was like, what? I'm crying. He has a whole there's like a top on that. So yeah, I'm not. That's not giving the same vibes. Mm. It's a safety whistle, right? He responds with a low chuckle, draped in smoke. Didn't stop you from from staring. My embarrassment spikes without thinking. I blurt out a change of topic. I have a question about the sea spring. Ah, saw all that? Boredom eclipses his amusement in an instant. He closes his eyes again. A dog whistle for Veer. Of course you do. I thought I made myself clear what you'd be giving up. Before you kicked me out to go drinking, I still needed more to know. My turn for a question. It sounded more like an order than anything. I bristle under his narrow glaze. Fine. He takes a long pull from his cigarette and lets the smoke trail slowly from his lips. Your curse. What about it? This song and dance is all too familiar. The selfish question comes first. What does it do? Is it painful? Can you control it? I brace myself for the inevitable onslaught. Is the thought of living with it really so unbearable? My dread dies with his words. No one has ever asked me that before. You've survived this long, unless you're running out of time. I'd wonder if it's really worth the sacrifice. He flicks a cigarette aside and props his head on blood-smeared knuckles. But what do I know? I'm just an outsider. My fingers fuss with the trim of my cloak. Ordinarily, I'd feel annoyed, but now my chest feels tight. You could have sold me if you were less honest. You're a shit salesman. Thought I was a liar. I changed my mind. We lapse into silence again. This time, it's surprisingly nice. The quiet, chilled air is a calming reprieve. You know, you didn't seem like an outsider back at the bar. A lot of people like you. Ace raises a brow at me. I start by asking about. I was surprised to see that you and Veer were close. Blessing and a curse. From what I've gathered, most people think he's, I don't know, an asshole. And water's wet. Crying. Didn't you just say that, Verby? I wait for him to elaborate or add his thoughts, but he doesn't. So, what do you like about him? He lets out a quiet laugh as if amused by my question. A lot of things. You already named one. You like that he's an asshole? Temperament matches the drapes. Looks good in blood and better in tears. To be a fly on the wall. To be a fly on the wall. Just gagged hello. Favorite things to tell. Sometimes it frizzes up if you what? He catches himself, clears his throat. It's hard not to let the disappointment show in my expression. Veer is one of the most honest people you will meet. Just don't listen to a single thing he says. I'm crying. Those sound like complete opposites to me. No, Veer said Curtis has a meat bat, right? I thought he said Curtis has a meat bat for a doctor. Okay, yeah. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean, bro? Rolled a D20 and got nat 20 on both height and meat bat. What do you mean? No, he just said he's really good at what he does. Uh, mm, what about Leander? You and Leander clearly get along well. You like Leander? Doesn't everyone? He helped me a lot since I arrived in Iridia. He even got me a free room at the Wetwick. His charm has gotten him far, but for a leader, he sure likes it when others take control. That sounds like you mean that for some other things. Part of me desperately wants to ask what he means, but Ace continues before I get a chance. Surprised we get along. I thought you'd be at each other's throats instead of drinking buddies. He's his smile is eased, but there's a dangerous edge to it. Leander's done a good job for a human. Naturally, there'll come a time when his resolve is tested. Would said, oh, some same could be said for anyone in this plane or the next. As for my resolve, well, stick around in the radio long enough and you'll find out. I nod slowly. I can't decide if it sounds like a promise or a threat. Got any more observations, Sparrow? I didn't know that you and Curtis were friends. In a way, I help him in the clinic sometimes. Doctor doesn't let most people closer than an arm's length. And you do? Heart's on my sleeve. Get a sense Curtis was like that in the past. Must have been burned. He trails off after the last few words, then shrugs. He opens up in his own ways if he's relaxed enough. I don't know how often, I don't know how even to imagine that. You'd be surprised, even the doctor has an endearing side. Can't decide what's more intriguing, the fact that Curtis has an endearing side or the idea that Ace has managed to coax it out of him. Tell me if you uncover any of his other secrets. I'd kill to know more. So Ace is kind of giving me if Raphael was Toji. Does that make sense? Like, if Raphael's exterior was Toji. Like, if you took Toji and you took Raphael and you, like, cut them in half and then glued their halves together, that it's like that. Saying that in a sense that Ace has a Toji, outer appearance, like he looks like he's rough, kind of like hard, and then no, I have to explain it, Savi. Like he has this rough like assholeness about him, like Toji does, but he seems like he has that endearing. I can get on your good side, like Raphael. Like Raphael can say the right things to the right people to get them to like side with him. He seems like he has that ability because what do you mean you know stuff about the doctor that like nobody else has said anything about? How did you get to that side of him? You have to have some kind of tricky tongue. Like you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, Savi. Nothing about the personality is Raphael or the appearance, but like okay, I see. Because I was like, something about him is like, how do you get to that level? But that makes sense. That makes sense. Maybe Min doesn't necessarily like you, but they definitely pay attention to you. Ace's reaction takes me off guard. He growls, pinching the bridge of his nose, as exasperated as I've ever seen him. I make enemy as easy as I breathe, Sparrow. Doesn't bother me. But that dove's got it out for me for no reason. Maybe they're unsettled by the sea spring? It's not about that. Goes without saying that they've got some issues. Don't think they understand that you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Honey has left a bad taste in my mouth in the past. It could be the same for them. At least you're capable of a conversation. Do me a favor and teach the dove some manners. Thought they'd lay off eventually if I didn't bite. Hasn't happened yet. I briefly considered the possibility that Min wants to get bitten. I'm not about to propose that though. My main point is that speaking from experience, being an outsider usually means you don't have friends. I don't. I leave him with a tired look. Fine, I'll confess. I have one friend. Don't say yourself. Osudius? Osudius? My skin prickles at the name, hair standing on end. Who's that? A friend. It lives in my head. It lives in your head? Ace taps his temple with a finger. Right here. Scared you off yet? That'd be the third bad impression I've made on you today. I'm stunned for a long moment, processing what he just told me. Then I burst into a fit of laughter. You're serious? Ace grins wide enough to flash his fangs, deadly. It sounds so fucking absurd, I can't help it. On top of everything I've gone through today, it feels like I'm living a fever dream. I've come close to death more times than I can count, encountered tame soulless and a horrifying group mind, and now I'm supposed to believe that there's someone living inside of Ace's head. There are tears in my eyes by the time I rein myself in. Ace waits patiently, lips quirked in amusement. Sorry, it just sounds so ridiculous. The tension around my shoulders was so tight, so tightly has melted away. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I can breathe. I feel better. Dukas, where? Dukas, correct. Dukas sounds wild. Where the rat's ass are you? Ruckus gruff shouts rise in the streets, echoed by the sound of heavy boots sloshing around the mud. The voices share the roughneck's accent from the bar, the same roughneck who still may be dead and lying bodied across from us. I nearly forgot about him. Right, Dukas is a wild name. Like, what do you mean? I shove my feet as I shove my feet as their voices get louder. They're closing in quick. Ace pulls me by the wrist out of the alley, away from the beaming moonlight. We dive into a nook behind the building's veil in the shade of the tattered canopies. It's a tight fit. Ace boxes me in against the wall, his body all but pressed up against mine as he towers over me. For the second time today, a heady scent of smoke envelops me, but this time cut with a metallic tinge of someone else's blood. Ace pitches his voice low, quiet. My heart leaps into my throat. I'm suddenly acutely aware of the heat radiating off his body, feeling of his legs grazing my thigh, the closeness of his breath. It sounds like an insult. It does. It sounds like a slur. I'm like, hello, what kind of name is that? This is bad. I squirm against him and earn a burning crimson glare. Do we really have to? His hand covers my mouth, muffling my whispers. He shakes his head. Don't. Damn, he's over here. Dukas, wake up, you bastard. The group of individuals, all but brandishing spiked weapons, fill the alley. They all wear violet sashes, some kind of uniform. I wish I could see what they're doing, but Ace's arm all but blocks my sight. My eyes trail up the teal markings. They coil around his arm, his bicep. They lead up to Ace's collarbone, the cords hanging around his neck. And the smuggest smirk I've ever seen. See, what are you doing in this situation? And it has to be it has to be one of these options. Personally, I'm not gonna stare at the Yetis that want to stare back at me. I'm gonna glare at the windows of his soul. Makes my brain go brrr. Imagine he ends you for that. I'm crying. I don't know. I feel like staring at his eyes, like kind of looking at him defiantly, might turn him on. I don't know. It's like a lose-lose situation. I would love nothing more than to chew him out, but his hand is clamped over my mouth. I fix him with the deadliest glare I can muster. But I want to look at his chest. Be like, memorize the details. You got a freckle right there. Like, what? Ace responds with a wolfish grin, and I realize I've locked myself into eye contact with him. What's wrong with looking into the windows of his soul? A thrilled, oh no, jolts through me, my face hot beneath his touch. Oh no, this can't be happening. Why am I getting worked up in this situation? Oh no. Voices in the alley grab Ace's attention this time. Shit, he's got more broken ribs than whole ones. What kind of freak did this? Fan out. Find the find the Dende lollipop responsible. You three take Dukas back to base. Least he's still breathing. He didn't lie. He wasn't lying. He said he's still breathing. Maybe barely, but he said he's still breathing. The alley clears out as footsteps rush away from us. We stay still until they're distant, melting into the rumble of the quarter. Only then does Ace take his hand off my mouth. When we finally step back into the moonlight, the night air is icy on my skin. I feel dazed and need to keep my eyes off Ace at all costs. Was that really necessary? The tremble in my voice is nothing but embarrassment. Staying hidden was the best option. Would be a hassle to run into them with you out here. What, because I'm dead weight? Because 3 bad impressions are enough for one day. The answer is too vague for my liking, but he's probably right. Either way, I don't have the energy to argue. Honestly, and this is just me talking in this situation, not that I'm wanting to be like, this is how this can be used in the future, but personally, all these situations today of like, oh, I've gotten cornered in by some monsters, I would have, like, okay, I get it. I can't touch nothing. Everything's gonna die if I touch it. Nothing is ever gonna touch me. People are gonna think I'm some like insanely powerful mage once I'm done. What do you mean so-and-so is gonna attack me or so-and-so wants to fight? I'm unraveling those bandages like my name is Rock Lee in these streets. I'm poking everybody in their forehead. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't need protection. I got law and order right here. I'm just poke. Gonna call me One Punch Man out here. But instead of One Punch Man, I'll be One Poke Woman. Sounds weird. One Touch Woman. That still sounds weird. They called me untouchable because you touch me, you die. There we go. I'm running at everybody like hitting my Rock Lee 8 trigon palm rotation. Just I poke you and everyone's just dying like left and right. What do you mean? Oh. Well. You know, seems like I would have I feel like at that point I would have taken up some medical class to know a lot about the body, the anatomy of humans, because I'm doing the what's the Kill Bill, little punch thing. You pop him in the heart the right way, and it explodes and it takes him out. Something. I mean, I'm gonna be a OP out here. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, the answer's too vague for my liking, but he's probably right. Either way, I don't have the energy to argue. Yeah, like I'm out here doing something. Come on, Sparrow. Let's get you home before you're farmed for murder. Oh, framed for murder. I'm like, framed. Very funny. We reached the front of Wetwick too quickly. I hate to admit it, but I don't want to separate from Ace yet. And not just because he's never answered my question. He's infuriating and easily as easily as he makes me feel on edge, he can make me feel safe. Secure somehow. You know where to find me. At the creepiest place in the world. Take your time before you decide to drink. I happen to like your shitty attitude. Takes a moment to process it. Then my eyes flutter to my feet. I'll keep that in mind.
Oh, that's what. Oh, ah! I can't do that. Ah! Why is he here? Why the hell is he here?
When I glance back up from the ground, Ace is already down the street, disappeared into the throng of people. no fanfare, not even a wave. Asshole. And that was everybody from our gatherings. Everyone from Touchstarved. Yeah, he's playing. I think he's playing Enshrouded. Let me go be nosy. Oh my bad. What happens if I stare at his moves? Let's see. Oh, this is not the right person at all. Ooh, is it this? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of options. My eyes dart away from his face, following the line of his necklace down to his chest. The way the pendant hangs above the line of his abdomen just before the skin gets swallowed by darkness. A thrill jolts through me, my face hot beneath. Oh, brother. Can't be happening. Am I getting all worked up in this situation? I'm crying. He said, those are some supple chicken breast up there, sir. She knows it's crazy. Let's see if he says anything different. Okay, yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, I was like, we chose the better one there. Okay, but that's cool though. That gives you know, I'm crying. He's ticklish. Hmm. He has soft hands. Nice, isn't it? Yeah. I've done this once already, but it still makes me lightheaded. Hmm. Who? Who else? Uh, oh, like I guess we already did that one. Mm, 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 mm. Fingers tremble, adrenaline still courses through my veins. Even if men seems intent to push me away, I don't really curse them. Not like that traveler. Shouldn't be around me, Alora. Find someone safer to ask for help. Hmm. Okay. I think that was all of the other options. Yeah, so if we do the other one, it ends their scene early. Oh yeah, we touched his face. That's the one that we went with. We just touched his cheek and caressed his scar. Yeah, when it, I think it said whenever it's red. Yes, Avi. You know, EG gallery. Ah. This being the first impression is still diabolical. With the hand jewelry is giving Emmerich. You said Dragon Age Veilguard? I know, right? I'm crying. He's got the Elliot Richards haircut. That Leon 2.0. Yeah, this is a good visualization of the outfit, Verby, if you're still here. Oh, I'm looking. I've already seen some details on some people, even though I don't vocalize those details that I've seen. I've seen a lot of details on some people. So all the creatures together. I know. I was looking at those little side threads. If I were to take if I were to try to pull like similar personalities from people from just things that I think that we a lot of us know, um, I would say this is kind of like from what we've seen so far. I know it's different. It goes deeper than what we have like what I've seen. But Veer is kind of like Harlot. Ace kind of Ace is kind of like maybe honestly, Ace could be kind of like a mix from what it looks like. If you were to take aspects of Dante and Virgil and to mix them together, like the seriousness and kind of the like you're mean that people think Virgil is, but like he's really not. Like I think if you take that very linear thing about how Virgil, yeah, 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 throw some Grimjaw in there too. I think it's like a mix of that. Leander, um, I think Leander's personality kind of seems like mm, I gotta come back to him. This is Zane. Nobody's gonna change that from. He's just giving Zane vibes, and men. I think men. Like that Leander has a triple moon goddess symbol on his belt, and Min has a cleric. On his coat. Very interesting design choices. Is that what that is? From a style perspective, they're all eating in their own ways though. I like. Um, yeah, I gotta come back on how I think his like, who I think his personality kind of reminds me of, and same with men, same with theirs. But yeah, I'm excited for when this comes out. I can get jiggy with it. Oh, you notice it more in their scenes. Okay, there's some cool stuff there. Indeed. All right. No, it's early, but it's midnight, and we are at our 4 hour mark. as much as I do want to open up Love and Deep Space and tear into it, I'll be really sad if I open it and then I do one mission and it's like, okay, next chapter. Oh, you got to download it. Oh, you don't have an extra 20 gigs on your phone. Sucks to suck. You can't play it. So I'll save that tomorrow for when I know I'll have time to poke around and make sure I have enough space to play more than like a chapter of stuff. I am I'm lying. I'll let you hear something. I have this really, I'm excited about something. And I really want you guys, I just want you to hear what, when we play Love and Deep Space, what you're gonna hear, regularly when I play Love and Deep Space. I will not subject myself to, playing it the way that I was playing it last time. All right. But on that note, I don't have this scene built on TikTok, so I'll say goodnight to you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll catch you guys later. And yeah. All right, now that it's just us, we log in. I'm crying. Every time I open this app, it has to install something. Why have they not made Love and Deep Space on PC the way that they have Infinity Nikki? It's possible. I know my PC would sweat, but I'd be more inclined to play it, to be honest. Like, we know you're the number one leader in the mobile game space. You don't have to lose that spot. You can keep that spot, you know? That doesn't have to change. I just want to be able to play the game because 30, 40 gigs for my phone is way too much. 30, 40 gigs for my PC, different story. That's doable. You know? I suffer. Hey, what the heck was that? Yeah. But I'm like, something's got to give because I'm suffering. Also, the game is like not loading. So maybe we'll just save it for tomorrow. Yeah, that's wild that even has to be like done. Again. All right. Okay, it's finally verifying. It's sitting on the loading screen, not showing anything. Right. Yay. Okay. Just for a short peek, right? Yeah, I had to close and reopen it. It was like, oh, now we'll verify. And it's like, you should have done that. I'm crying. Where is it? Your Honor, it's very loud. All right. Where is it going? There we go. We were poking at Zane. I finally went down. Yeah, it's literally Zane or nobody else. Maybe Silas, but like Zane or Silas, nobody else, right? I finally got around to changing the audio. I need to have Silas in here so I can see what he sounds like. But yes, Verby, yes, diabolical. 100% why I can't play this game. 100% why.
先日同じ部署の医師が病気になるとしっくりこないと言っていた。このダジャレでお前を笑わせられるといいな。
Cause like, first off, this audio is kind of loud. But like, what do you mean? Makes you not want to play? Cause same, not for real. Right. I need to hear Silas in Japanese. I've heard a clip of them in Chinese and Korean. I don't remember what the Chinese, what the Japanese one sounded like, but
月を眺めたいなら今はちょうどいい時間帯だな。
so much better. So much better than how he sounds in English. That's it. That's all I want to tell you. But yeah, we'll play this tomorrow.
肩を叩いたということは何か言いたいことがあるようだな。
We'll you know, tomorrow we'll sit here for longer and we'll dabble. I purposefully haven't done anything other than like keep it updated. I'm crying. No, save it for tomorrow. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're gonna raid out. Gotta find somewhere to go, you horny creatures. I'll be inappropriate with Silas. I feel like he'll have some kind of funny comeback that like I'm definitely not ready for. But yeah. All right, I'll get ready to send us off. And find me something to snack on. Because while it is almost, well, it's after midnight, it's like 4 o'clock in my brain. So my body's like, food, feed me. And we'll go do that. Let's see. Before we dip, though, I'll give you guys the Wade messages. All right. I'm working on doing some cool stuff. Sorry that my updates have been very far and few between on our website, but I'm working on adding some stuff, especially for the members. If you're a member on the website, I plan on adding some music on there that you guys can have. So. But yeah, check it out. Working on doing a lot of stuff on there now that I'll have some time in the daytime. And yeah, I would get some bobbity bips. And such. But we are gonna go right out to Milo, who's playing Marvel Rivals. I'll watch so that I am not tempted to play and injure another part of my body playing that game. But we'll go check them out. Give the love per usual. Such awesome creative over there, awesome vibes. If you're a subscriber, go ahead and copy that first message. That one is for you. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and copy that second one. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. These are so short but fulfilling all the same. We'll get back to our 12 and 9. We'll have that. It'll just probably be next week sometime, or maybe because of that, when I finally kind of get into that rhythm. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. You all take care. Have a great one. I'll catch you next time.